And we're live again with the mic not muted. What's going on, everybody? How's it going? This is Horny Gnome, and this is the Horny Gnome Booze Cruise, episode 6. How's it going? Welcome to the shit show. How's everybody been doing? It is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Holy shit, this year is flying by already. It has been crazy so far, and I think it's just going to continue to go that way. So, without further ado, I just want to get into the first beer, because I definitely 100% need a beer after today. This is the first beer that we're going to go after today is Muir Pond Pale Ale from Deschutes Brewing Company out of Bend, Oregon. Let's get into it. Pour it out here. My nice little big snifter glass here. Not a very tall head on this. I was expecting a little bit more, a little taller head on there. Yeah, that's, there we go. Let's see. Chemist, what's going on? How's it going? So it's got a real bready quality to it. A lot of malt there. I am getting a little bit of citrus, but not a ton. Alright, let's just get into the taste. Ooh, I like that. So this is, ooh, and I'm going to have hiccups through the whole episodes. That's how that's going to go. This is more of like a bottom of your line, like, pretty straightforward pale ale. I really like it. It's got a lot of malt to it. It has, a little bit of citrus, but nothing overpowering. Nothing to, like, take over that malt presence. It's actually really good. I really enjoy it. And I'm going to have hiccups this whole episode. This is going to be terrible. Maybe I'll drink them away. Let's hope. I am picking up maybe a little bit of like citrus rind in there, you know? Not necessarily like the like sweet fruit kind of flavor, but I'm picking up like that citrusy rind kind of situation. I really like that. There's a downplayed bitter here that I really enjoy. This is a 5% ABV, 40 IBU pale ale. So typically a pale ale, like I've explained before, is the same thing as like an IPA, except for usually to be considered a pale ale, that ABV is usually lower and that bitter is lower, meaning that they don't have the hops in throughout the entire time. They use a little bit less hops, so it's not so much of a bitter bite at the end. And then, like I said, the ABV usually is a little bit lower in pale ales. But this is actually really outstanding. This is something I could drink over and over. A really nice classic pale ale. It's named after Muir Pond. Muir Pond is outside of Bend, Oregon also. I've seen some pictures. They're pretty outstanding. I definitely name a beer after it for sure too. So, not bad at all. So, how was the beginning of everybody's February so far? Today was February 1st. I'm back to work today after about a 10-day hiatus altogether. Well, maybe not 10 days altogether, but 7 days off of work. Probably altogether. I had the vid, guys. It was it was not great. I had some fevers for a day or so, and then other than that, it's just been congestion and that kind of thing. And I'm still kind of working through all of it, but it was pretty mellow as far as anything. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. I tested at home, stayed at home, and then we had a couple other members of our family get it too. We're up to all but 2 members of the family have gotten it too and tested positive. So we're just high-fiving and sharing it around. Apparently, that's what's going on. So, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I think it definitely affects certain people a lot more than it affects. I've been affected. This is the second time around of me getting it. I am unvaccinated right now. And I don't know that it's going to make me change and get a vaccination. But it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about that, and we're not going to get into that. That's all a little bit too political for my brand, at least. Sports were kind of crazy this last week, too. Everybody knows I'm a huge Chiefs fan. And like I named the episode, field goals are almost guaranteed points. I really felt like Andy Reid should have went and made the decision to go for two at the end of the half before they went in for halftime and gotten those guaranteed points instead of listening to Mahomes and telling him he was going to get it in and he didn't get it in. They hadn't gotten it in all the way up to that point. You know, I think Andy Reid gave him the nod, said go ahead, but leave some time on the clock. That did not happen. And I think that wasn't necessarily a deciding factor in that game. I do think that had a lot to do with the mindset of... I feel like that had a lot to do with the mindset going into the locker room. You know, the Chiefs going into the locker room with a... with kind of a, heads down a little bit. We didn't get into the end zone there. And Bills going in with a big stop before the half. Or not Bills. The Bengals going in with a big stop before the half. I think that really got him going in the locker room. So, Brandon going in here. Sup, dude? How are you? I'm good, man. Just trying to make it through. Is the audio better in this one? My audio was terrible in our last podcast. I'd set it up all the same way, and our audio was just shot. So I kind of worked through some stuff and cleaned some stuff, and hopefully everything's working good this time. So right now, like I said, I'm drinking on this Mere Pond Pale Ale from Deschutes Brewing Company. Deschutes is made started in 1988 with a small brew pub, and has just grown from there. There's still the one in Bend, Oregon. There's one further south in Portland, I think. And then there's another one in like Virginia. They distribute in 27 states now. All over. I got this locally in my local bottle shop just up the street. And Deschutes puts out great stuff. I really love their IPAs. I've been very, very, seldom let down by their stuff. Their fresh squeeze stuff is really good. I really enjoy Deschutes as a brewery altogether. So, great stuff. It's hard to make bad stuff come out of Washington and Oregon area. All those breweries up there really put out some top-notch stuff. So, this one is a tasty non-exception to that. It's a great beer. Tasty. So this kind of leads into this weird time of the year where you're still in your winter months. This is still technically winter months, and really the only thing to watch, there's basketball. Back in high school, I played a lot of basketball, and I used to watch a lot of basketball. I am pretty far removed from basketball now. I don't hardly play it all at all anymore. I don't watch a ton of it. I don't have a whole lot invested in it. There's not a lot of close teams as far as like Denver Nuggets, I guess, are close and stuff. I'm not a big Nuggets guy. So, I have some players that I'm fans of. I know it's a hot take or whatever. Hops and Mash, what's going on? How are you, brother? I know it's a hot take, but I'm a big LeBron fan. I know there's a lot of guys that aren't, but he graduated the same year I did, same age as me. And I do have a lot of that I do like about him. I don't like the flops and all that, but pound for pound, he's one of the best, if not will go eventually down as the best, player in the game. Broke amazing records at a young age and continued to do so and continues to do so. And he doesn't have controversy outside of the court. That's kind of a big thing for me as a fan, is to see somebody do it right, you know, and not let the money get to his head. His game and everything is his ego, not the money. And that's maybe something I appreciate about him. You know, he doesn't go around flaunting his money. He gives back to a lot of people. He gives back to the community. He gives back to organizations. He reinvests in his family. You know, his kids coming up and stuff like that are going to be amazing basketball players because he's always there for them and backs them up and has helped them along and stuff like that. Strikeout beer, let's freaking go. I appreciate you guys. Cheers. But I think he's a tremendous player. I think he's a tremendous person. You know, like I said, there's no controversy there. He's been with the same gal since high school. They got kids together. You know, the only thing controversial about him is that he flops and he has a hairline that seems to defy age at this point. Other than that, you know, he plays his game. I don't know. TJ in here. I like beer. I like beer too. Cheers, guys, for everybody coming in. I'm drinking on this tasty Mirror Pond Pale Ale from Deschutes Brewing Company. We got about a little bit left, and then we'll crack into this next one. It is cold as hell here. It's like 20, feels like 5 outside right now. It's probably like I've definitely got my hands in my pouch here. It's probably 50 degrees or something out here in the Horny Gnome Bar. I didn't get the heater installed that I wanted to get installed earlier this summer, and it just keeps kind of getting put out on the back burner. More than likely, I'll get it installed, and then we'll not have another cold day for the rest of the year. So, oh, Craft Beer Girl's hopping in here. What is going on? So if you guys don't follow Craft Beer Girl over on TikTok, please go and do that. But she's kind of going through something that a lot of us in the beer community don't have to go through, especially us that do beer reviews. She's pregnant, so she has to come up with a way to continue to do content around the beer community while being pregnant. So up until this, she's done an amazing job just taking a little sample sip and then passing it off to her husband and kind of going through it this way. But now she's kind of gotten some breweries on on board and stuff like that, and she's got some non-alcoholic stuff that's been sent out to her that she's been doing some awesome reviews on, and some pregnancy craving food that she's been doing some fun videos on, which I think is outstanding because the weirdest food combinations I've ever heard of all have to do with women being pregnant 9 out of 10 times. You know, like pickles and peanut butter, some, you know, just bananas, shit like that. So, it's super awesome to see her face, not necessarily this like disability, but definitely kind of an arm being held behind her back as far as putting out the content that she had been putting out, and how to continue to do that. You know, based around what's going on. So, let's polish this one off and get into the second beer. That was tasty. So, cheers. What's going on, everybody? So we're gonna crack into the second beer. The second beer I picked up just because at one point my local bottle shop had this, you know, summer mix pack of Sam Adams or whatever, and it had gotten broken up somehow. And so I was kind of in there looking for beers, and he just happened to have like all of the variations of this mixed, you know, summer Sam Adams pack, and I was like, I bet they're still good, so I'll grab some. So this will be my first time trying this beer but it's definitely a summer beer. The funny thing is, I was just talking to him, and he was saying that like the Leinenkugel's rep was already talking about whether he wanted to order summer beer already. And it's like, he's like, it's February. I'm not ordering summer beer in February. So, this one that we're going to grab into here is Beach Session IPA from Sam Adams. Crisp and tropical, it says. We're going to pour it in the same glass. Don't come at me about using the same glass. The only thing I hate worse than running out of beer is doing dishes. So that's what we're gonna. Here we go. Pours out nice and clear golden with a liquid white paper, one finger tall head on it. Looks like it's gonna be fast dissipating there, but it does have some nice hop oil in there. It's definitely sticking to the sides pretty well. This is a 4.7%, no IBU rating. Session IPA from Sam Adams with a untapped score of 3.48. Let's get into it. So, I'm going to say that it's one of those things that I have to deal with in Nebraska is our beer distribution is not the best. So a lot of times we'll get these bigger box store craft beers, and obviously they don't hold a candle 9 out of 10 times to what I would consider the craft beer market as far as microbreweries and stuff like that, nano breweries putting out outstanding beer. It just doesn't have the distribution. They cut corners to make, large batches, stuff like that. However, I do like the fact that Sam Adams has been changing a lot of their recipes. So Sam Adams and the proprietor that owns Sam Adams bought out like Traveler last year, year before last year. And so they've taken a lot of Traveler's recipes and turned them into Sam Adams recipes. I'm not sure if this is one of them, this Beach Session IPA. I'm not sure if this is one of them or if this is part of their new, R&D team trying to come up with new stuff. But here we go. Lots of citrus on the nose and fruit, like tropical. Like tangerine and mango, maybe. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. No, that's outstanding. Honestly, I can't even be mad at it. It is very fruit forward, but not fake fruit forward. It has this nice punchy tropical fruit that really comes in and kind of plays with you. As far as like the IPA bitterness to it, there's not any of that there. You can definitely taste that grapefruit backbone that comes along with that IPA presence and stuff, but it's nothing crazy. This is crisp, it's light. Beach Session, so it definitely takes me to ass in the sand, toes in the water. This is outstanding as far as that's concerned. This is really, really good and definitely like crushable. You could drink a ton of these, especially at 4.7. You could really just, spend the whole day with a nice 12-pack of these out at the river, hanging around. There's not a lot of like pine dankiness to it at all. It really comes in at almost like a low-key Citra hop kind of IPA flavor, but it's paired up really nice with those tropical flavor notes and stuff. That's tasty. Fancy Francis coming in here with, is this still a show? Yes, this is still a show, Fancy Francis. Low-key. Yeah, it's still a show. It's just not the big one. It's not the big one. Yeah, this is actually really good. Sam Adams is nationally distributed. It's got this nice little salmon color pink label to it. The little rundown here says, bright and lively, this beer boasts a crisp tropical aroma with mosaic hops. Ooh, I didn't guess mosaic. And clean finish. See, now usually with a mosaic hop, I taste a little bit more of that blueberry and stuff like that, and you're not tasting that here. Yeah, but I think it's outstanding. I think it's really good. I'm gonna be one of those guys that tells you that realistically Sam Adams puts out bangers. Not all of their beers are great. I'll be the first one to say that. I don't think that they're all outstanding, but some of them are super drinkable. I really like the Rebel IPA from Sam Adams. I think it's a solid IPA, and in a lot of places, that's your IPA to get. Like there's not a lot of options, and if that's one of them, crank into it. There's a lot of bars that, there's a lot of bars that don't serve other IPAs. They're not going to serve, what you typically see at the store. Even, they're gonna serve what they can get on, get a keg of for $12 or whatever, whatever big sale they can get in or whatever. And so they try to get something that everybody will drink or whatever as far as that craft IPA. And that's right there. Sam Adams, that Rebel IPA is really good too. So, all right, Craft Beer Girl, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. This one's a good one. This is a nice crisp one. I really, really enjoy it. So I picked this one because it's cold, it's dreadful, and I want to talk about summer. So, Specialized popping in here. What's going on? How are you? Cheers, sir. I am so ready for summer that it's not even funny. I am so over the cold. I'm a big guy, so the cold doesn't affect me near as much. That all being said, I don't care. I'm so over the cold. I've lived in this state forever, and it's cold, dreadful cold in the winter, and dreadful hot in the summer. I'll take the hot. I am so over being cold. And I like hoodie season. Don't get me wrong. I like the fall season when it's not super cold outside. It's like 50s, 60s during the day, and then it gets down into like the 40s at night. I really enjoy that time of year. I enjoy that fall time of the year where you can sit outside around a fire and not freeze your nuts off. I like that time of year. I hate the winter. Like, I like messing around in my truck and stuff like that when it snows. That's where it stops. It makes my job 10 times harder. It makes for storms being worse. I can't stand it. Drives me out. Oh, nice. House of Mash is hanging out in Maryland, waiting on the next storm. Jeez. I'm over the cold. So, I'm ready for the summer. I love camping. I love going out, taking the kayak out and getting out in the water and just paddling around. I like taking my kids to the river and taking my kids to the lakes and going fishing and stuff like that. I like fishing, and I don't go ice fishing because I hate winter. I don't want to be cold. I don't care. I'm such a baby about it. I don't. I'm ready for hot weather. I'm ready for less clothes all the time, and I'm ready for long, long days where the sun doesn't go down until 9 o'clock at night, and you're drinking till midnight, and you wake up, you do it all over again the next day. That's what I want. I am so over the winter. I'm definitely over it. So, yeah, I'm over it. That's what we got going on there. I just wanted to reminisce a little bit about how much I love the summertime with this nice, tasty beach session IPA. Coming up this summer, we definitely have a bunch of plans to go and visit some relatives that we haven't gotten to visit in a long time. And that means way more access to beer beyond Nebraska. So I believe that we're going to go up and we're going to see my girlfriend's family up around the Dubuque area, which would be right on the edge of Iowa and Illinois and Wisconsin. Are all right there. All right on like the Mississippi River, Missouri River. I don't know, one of those rivers. And then we're gonna do that, and then I think we're gonna jet over to Colorado sometime this summer too, and go visit her brother and sister-in-law. They live out in Greeley, and so I'll get around the Greeley area and get to try some beers out that direction and stuff like that. And we might just get a little crazy and do some remote stuff, and I think that'd be really cool too, to take the podcast out that way. My sister and brother-in-law and stuff lives out in the Denver area too, so I might be able to wrangle them all up and do some stuff. So I think it'd be really cool. I think we have a lot of getting out of here planned this summer. We're just tired of it. We've been here for a year and a half pretty much at this house and haven't gone anywhere and haven't really done anything because we've been kind of stuck by sickness and everything else. And now I think we're ready just to get out and go visit people and go experience the world a little bit again. So that's all if everything works out and we can actually get time off. We'll see how that works out for us. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about this last one before I open it up. But this last beer we got going on is Lugene Chocolate Milk Stout. So let me give you the rundown. Named to honor our local farmer who hauls away our spent grain to feed his dairy cows, Lugene Chocolate Milk Stout is brewed with milk sugar and chocolate to create a rich and creamy brew that reminds us of a cold glass of chocolate milk. This is from Odell Brewing Company. You already know, it's one of my favorites, out of Fort Collins, Colorado. I like this bottle art we got going on here. Little cow chewing on some chocolate. Let's crack into it. And the pour. Ooh, it is nice and dark. That is, she thick. Alright, so it pours out dark coffee colored with a pretty tan one finger tall white head or tan head on it. I'm getting mostly milk chocolate out of that. I'm not getting that normal coffee that you get out of a stout. I'm getting a lot more of the chocolate. And this is a great color. This is fantastic. You guys can see it over on TikTok and stuff. Like, yeah, even held up to the light, I can't see through it. This is pretty good. Alright, here we go. Definitely getting I'm getting a little bit of that coffee, but it's mostly, keep in mind, I am a little bit plugged up still. But it's mostly that chocolate. Here we go. Whew. That is rich. Ooh. I did not expect it to be as rich. So it's sweet. Definitely sweet. There is a little bit of that coffee kind of stout backbone in there with like a nice malty bread. It kind of comes in there. A little bit of oat, but not like heavy on the oat. It's more heavy on the malt. But it has this really nice chocolate flavor. It's just really rich. It's sweet. This is, let me give you the breakdown here. 8.5% ABV, 18 IBUs with a 3, excuse me, I got hiccups, with a 3.97 Untapped score. Yeah, this is, man, these hiccups are kicking my ass right now. It's really good, though. It's just sweet. So, keep in mind, I haven't tried the Leinenkugel's Hershey Milk Chocolate Stout yet, but this is what I would envision it tasting like. The chocolate taste is really, really good, and it's right there, but it's sweeter than in a, like what I typically prefer in a stout. But it's not bad. This is probably definitely like a one and done kind of stout for me. This isn't something I would drink a ton of, but I would definitely drink it again. I would order it if that's what I was in the mood for, especially if I didn't have hiccups. But Odell really knocks it out of the park. I really, really have very little bad to ever say about Odell. I think out of all of their beers that they've put out new this year that I've tried, only one of them was like a so-so for me. And they've commented on some of my videos and stuff like that, which is super rad, over on TikTok. And I'm kind of in correspondence with them to do some cool stuff. But I really do like this. I'd like to see something different, though. This rides this fine line between a normal chocolate stout and drinking like Hershey's chocolate milk. It has the sweetness of Hershey's chocolate milk, but the bitter of the coffee mellows everything out to where it's kind of in like the middle. It's still a little sweet. I'd still probably give it a 7.5. But again, it's rich. I don't think I could drink a whole bunch of them. There's another beer that I've had that kind of has the same kind of thing going on to it. There we go. Dragon's Milk is another beer that has this kind of sweetness associated with their stout. And Dragon's Milk is a fantastic beer. It is phenomenal. But the sweetness and the richness of it makes it to where it is a one-time, one beer kind of thing. You would not normally order it if that's the one beer you're going to drink that night, stuff like that. But for a nice little treat, like a nice little dessert, this is a great one. On top of everything else, I'm glad that I ended with this one. Because it's so heavy and so sweet, I think it would have kind of ruined the other beers for me a little bit. But I'm glad I ended it with this one. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this one. This would be a really good one after dinner, sitting around, and you don't want to eat dessert. Boom. This is a great dessert beer for that. A little bit of sweet, just to kind of mellow you out. Nice and smooth for the night. This is right where you want that. Purge, what's going on? How are you? This is great. I really do like this. In case you wanted to see that, it is Lugene's Chocolate Milk Stout from Odell Brewing Company. This is actually really, really good. I did enjoy that. This is going to be a short one, just because I'm fighting hiccups tonight, and that's been a big bummer. But I appreciate everybody hopping in here for this short little podcast. Every other Tuesday is Horny Gnome Booze Cruise. You can hop in here, say what's up, hang out with me for a little while. As we move further on in this year and we have some new equipment coming in, we're going to bring in guests, and I'll have some guests locally, we'll have some guests remote, and kind of add that to this podcast. And then we'll be doing that as well with our other podcast, Unlikely Role Models, which airs every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that is me and my best friend. And we talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about current events a little bit, funny news stories. We talk a little bit about sports. We talk crazy state laws. We talk kind of a little bit of everything. And we bring in beer also. And we talk a little bit about beer. So we're going to have some crazy ones to try coming up here on Thursday. We've got some good news stories to cover. We got stuff to cover about sports too. And so I do hope that you guys hop back on here. Come and watch us on Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unlikely Role Models Podcast. It will be on Unlikely Role Models Podcast on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff is Unlikely Role Models Podcast. I appreciate it. And this has been the Horny Gnome Bar. I have been the Horny Gnome. And I have the hiccups. And they suck. Peace.